The follow-up is simple. Ask a question, listen to the answer, then follow up. I'm your host, Noah Kozlov. Enjoy.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have the conversation about something I want to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk about what riding New York transportation is like.
So, we don't have a car here.
No.
And on the podcast before, we've talked about, we get asked a lot of questions. I get asked by my friends, and then about our life in New York City, your life in New York City. And one of the questions that we get a lot about is, so Eden's just good on the bus and the subway, and then specifically after the subway shooting 2 weeks ago in Brooklyn, I got a lot of questions like, are you guys still riding the subway? So I thought when I brought up this topic to you, I thought it might be a good one. All right, so your whole life, even when you were in the stroller, Mom and I would carry the stroller up and down in the subway. You've been on the subway and the bus.
And many buses.
Yeah, so let's start with current events. So after the subway shooting 2 weeks ago, about a week later, because we take the bus more than the subway, we were on the subway again. Were you thinking about that subway shooting?
No, it's just like another ride of the subway. I don't really think about it.
So, okay, so were you any more nervous about the subway than usual?
No.
No. Okay, I know you prefer the bus.
I so much prefer
right.
the bus.
So explain that. What do you prefer about the bus? Because I do too. So what do you prefer about?
Underground things because because sometimes you don't know where you are. Like it's just like I don't like underground things that much. Except I like basements. Like that's fine, but like I don't like underground transportation.
Yeah. So it is certainly a bit more nerve-wracking when you're underground, for sure, and you can't see the street. You don't see street lights. It's dark. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Because it's like you don't know exactly where you are. Like.
Do you think all right, so you take the bus a few times a week?
Yeah.
Usually. If we said to you, all right, here's the credit card because you don't need a subway card anymore. You can just tap the credit card.
Yeah.
And we said, all right, here's the credit card. Go to fashion.
Yeah, I could use it.
You think you could do it?
Yeah, I could do that by myself.
You think you could walk out of our apartment, go to the correct bus stop, get on the bus, and get there?
Uh-huh. Because I know that. I know how to do that because I take that to my fashion class, but also I take it to my swimming class.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's easy.
And also, in New York...
And there are 2 bus stops where I can take it, and I can take the local or the express, and they still take me the same
That's true. That's true. And you can also always ask, like, if you were forced to do that at a young age, I would say you sit near the bus driver.
Right.
Like, in one of those seats right next to the bus driver. Tell him or her, hey, I'm a young kid riding the bus by myself. Can you please tell me when my stop is? Even if you would know, look out the side and you know when it's coming up, but you would absolutely ask the bus driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about? Do you feel like the bus, in terms of the people on the bus versus the people on the subway, do you feel any safer on the bus than the subway?
Not by the people, because it's like there's no difference. Person could ride the bus. Person could ride the subway. Once I saw a person on the subway, and then later I was going on the bus, and I saw the same people on the bus.
You did?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So it's like they can drive. It's just like a faster way is the subway, so they might need to get somewhere faster. They're riding the subway.
Or if they're going like across town or something like that.
But they could ride the bus too. So it's personally I don't feel about the people as much.
Okay. The other day we were on Metro North, which is a train that takes you out to the suburbs. And on the way back, this woman got on behind you, and she was sitting. And these are like higher train seats, and she was sitting directly behind you. I was looking your way so I could see her, but your back was to her. because you were sitting with Mom, and she barely had anything on, and she started screaming at the conductor when the conductor asked for her ticket.
And she didn't have a ticket.
She said she didn't have a ticket, or she'd gotten on at this stop, and then the conductor said it's $3, and then she started using some really bad words, threatening the conductor. She used some words. I know you recognize some of the bad words she said because I saw you like kind of like smile a little bit because you knew that they were bad words. But she used some words that you didn't even know were bad words. I knew they were bad words, but I don't think you even knew yet. And in my head, I was thinking, yeah, that's New York, I guess. What were you thinking as that was going on? Take me inside your head.
I was like, basically like that, I guess. Like,
But what else?
But
what
also
were you thinking?
like, what's really going on? Because like in that you don't really know what's going on. It's like, and I was also thinking like, why?
Mm-hmm. Like, why would someone talk to somebody like that?
Especially the conductor.
Yep.
And the conductor wasn't doing anything wrong.
No, the conductor wasn't doing anything wrong.
Just
Unfortunately,
doing their
the
job.
conductor couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
I was looking to see. I mean, certainly other people heard it around us. I was making eye contact with other people just in case we needed to step in if there was a fight.
Right.
Like if those two started to get physical, you make eye contact first with some of the people around you to make sure that it's almost like an unspoken thing that you look at someone and give them the nod or an eyebrow raise that all right, we're on the same team here. We'll step in if something needs to be done. I really felt awful for the conductor. I mean, she didn't deserve any of that. No. But so you do feel safe on, even when there are people on the subway when they're coming by, like sometimes they're doing like flips or asking for money or playing music, or sometimes people are.
What do you mean flips?
Like you've never seen the people who like hang on the side of the poles. It's actually kind of impressive, and then like flip around or run up and down the subway and do flips.
No.
Ever seen that? No. All sorts of performers. Yeah. But I'm glad so if I was your age coming to New York, I would have been nervous because that's not something I grew up with.
Right.
So I'm glad that you feel somewhat comfortable in that setting, but also want you to know how to take care of yourself in those settings.
What do you like differently about the bus than the subway?
So it's very similar to you. I like being above ground. I like being able to see outside, know where I am, the sunlight. Even if there's, it stops more and the door opens and you get some fresh air. It just the whole experience is better, I think. Yeah, but I got used to, like, when I was growing up, we only took the train. Sometimes when we go downtown, sometimes if you're going to a game, or sometimes if you're going to a concert down in Philadelphia, but we didn't take it, in our day-to-day lives. But then in Boston, we took the train a lot in school.
Right.
Yeah, a lot.
Do you like taking the train in like New York better than Boston, or is it just totally different?
You're right, totally different. So in Boston,
what
Boston
are different
is
things in between, like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, so Boston's a small city especially compared to New York.
It seems I feel like because on the news when you hear about, I feel like for me when I hear about all that snow that piles on Boston, it feels like a much bigger city than it really is.
I think Boston's only like 500,000 or 600,000 people.
But for me, it feels bigger than it really is.
Oh yeah, exactly, and especially also because of so many great sports teams too. Boston's in my world at least. Boston's the Celtics and the Red Sox and and the Patriots and the Bruins, and I've been there for so many of those big moments. But in Boston,
if you're an announcer,
right, and the train, so
the team.
The T.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Tell me about it.
it's above ground and below ground.
Ow.
And it could start above ground and then go below ground and then come back up, which is neat. And at school at BU, you could just take the T all the way up Commonwealth Avenue. So you could take it from BU all the way up to Boston College was the last stop, which is far. And for Boston College to even say they're in Boston is silly because they're in Newton, Massachusetts, and it's really far away. Or Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, and it's really far away. But anyway, I remember in Boston, like the T, it's like 4 cars long. Right. So I would always laugh in New York when I came to intern here over their summers in college, thinking, wow, like I never saw the last car of the subway, but now we do. But.
Remember when we were on the Metro North train, and before our train came, there was this long thing, and we had no idea what was in it, and it just never ended.
Oh, that cargo train.
Yeah, it might have been like, I don't know, like 100.
Yeah, it was forever. Containers.
Yeah, it was just large containers.
That was wild.
Yeah,
And they could have had anything in there.
It went for maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it really did. It was forever. That was the longest thing I've ever seen. And so in Boston, the T though, like in New York, it runs 24 hours.
Yeah.
And in Boston, I forget when it stopped, but it stopped maybe like midnight, maybe. So then if we were out in college, if we were out in college, we always had to decide like, all right, do we want to get the T or we were gonna share a cab and go back because they didn't have Lyft or Uber or anything like that. Right. And so, but I think that's what got me used to the subway, but it helps to have that starting point in Boston, but the New York City subway is just so different. Like in Boston, you can look at the subway map and like, oh, okay, yeah, just take that here, great. Take that here, great. New York, you look at the subway map and you think,
oh my God, where am I going?
Oh, how am I ever gonna get there?
Yeah, or like where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I feel like, I personally would take the T, so you're not as tired next time.
What do you mean? Oh, leave wherever I was earlier?
Yeah, so you're not as tired the next day.
That's true.
Because then you wouldn't be like this.
I want you to remember that if you're in college and the transportation wherever you are ends early, then just go home early.
Wait.
Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, because then the next morning, if you had to wake up early,
All right, well, I'm glad this is a good topic.
Yeah.
This was episode 98.
Okay, can we have a party?
A
on the
party?
100th episode?
Every day is a party around here.
Well, you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
For the 100th episode.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, not a party, but can we have like a celebration?
A celebration? Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
That
And maybe
sounds
if folks at home are watching this, they can think about the different modes of transportation that they use every day.
Yeah.
And if they've been to New York, they can let us know.
Yeah.
Do you ride the subway, or do you take the bus, or do you just hop on a taxi or a car? You can let us know. You can do that.
Or both.
Right. You could do that in. Best place to leave comments would be in Apple Podcasts. Yeah. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, that's the best way to do it. And then maybe we can read them on the show.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, but we couldn't read all of them.
We can read some of them.
No, but I meant from the first episode of comments.
Well, no, I'm talking about like just from this one.
Oh yeah, because that would be a lot of comments to read from the first comment to the last comment.
Maybe, but we'll go on to Apple Podcasts and take a look at the comments, and then we can read them on. Yeah.
And that can also give us some ideas.
All right.
For sure.
I love you.
Thanks.